along with me. Breaking news, it's a thrill. Live chat, got time to kill. XD, we're breaking the mold. Special guests, stories untold. Unfiltered truth, no hidden clues. No suit and tie, it's all for you. Out of the newsroom, into the light. No suit and tie, it's feeling right. Unscripted moments, the host is scary. On Next News Network, we never vary. On YouTube, we're streaming live. On Rumble, the chat is alive. On X, we're trending high. And mainstream media is dead, and we are why. Millions of followers, hear us out. Seen all over the world, there's no doubt. We are the future, shining bright. Join the raw feed every night. Out of the newsroom, into the light. No suit and tie, it's feeling right. Unscripted moments, the host is scary. On Next News Network, we never vary.
Good evening and welcome to the Next News Network. What's up, Jason? How you doing? I'm Gary Franchi, and tonight we're bringing you, today, actually, we're bringing you a raw, unfiltered look at the stories that are shaking the foundations of our nation. But before we dive in, I want to remind you that this show isn't just about talking at you. It's about all of us together cutting through the noise and getting to the truth. And that's why we have a special feature where we interact with you, our viewers, in the live chat. Your reactions, your insights, your questions, they're all part of this journey that we are on together. So keep those comments coming, folks. We're reading them and we are listening. Now, here's something crucial. We need you to share this stream, not just on your social media, but directly with your friends and family via text message. Why? Because it's the only way to bypass the algorithms that are trying to silence us. We're streaming live on YouTube to millions worldwide. We're also on Rumble and X, so make sure you follow us on these platforms because you never know when the censors might strike. But let's get into the meat of the show, and boy, do we have a feast for you. We're talking about 5 explosive stories that the mainstream media is either ignoring or twisting beyond recognition. First up, yes, another assassination attempt on Donald Trump. And then there was a bomb scare today. That's right, folks. The second assassination attempt in a month. The tensions are high. We'll give you the details that CNN won't touch with a 10-foot pole. And then we're taking you behind the scenes of Tucker Carlson's electrifying live tour stop in Milwaukee. Trust me, what happened there will make your jaw drop. We've also got a whistleblower from ABC News who is about to blow the lid off the recent Trump-Harris debate. Collusion, bias, manipulation, it's all there, and we have the scoop. Plus, we'll take you to Trump's recent rally in Michigan, the energy, the crowds. It's a political phenomenon that has the establishment quaking in their boots. And finally, we're diving into the latest 2024 election polls that have both parties scrambling as a major upset in the works. You will want to stick around for this. Now, I need to level with you. Bringing you this kind of hard-hitting truth is not easy or cheap. We're under constant attack from those who want to keep you in the dark, and that's why we urgently need your support. There are links in the description to donate. Every dollar helps us keep fighting for the truth, and of course, supporting our sponsors keeps us going. So buckle up, folks. It is going to be a wild ride tonight on the Next News Network, so let's dive in and welcome you to the program. Okay, yes, we had some technical problems getting started, but here we are. We're live. What, Brian? Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we had some technical issues, and we are now we're live, thank God. And listen, it has been wild. You know, we were in Milwaukee on Monday. That whole event was, I just got to tell you, it was interesting because, we went there with media passes and we go in through the employee entrance. We're back, in the bowels of the arena. And we're getting all these rules, and like you can only record here, and you can only record this much, and then you have to leave. Like we couldn't even stay for the show. And I'm like, well, what if we just got tickets? Like, well, if you got tickets, you can go in and do what you want. I'm like, okay. So we got tickets, and they were awesome. And unfortunately, we were not able to meet with all of the Next News viewers who won the contest to get the tickets that we were giving away. So I'm really bummed about that. And, you know, it's unfortunate that we had to get caught up in all that red tape as media, but we eventually got in. And by the time we got in, the show was starting and everyone was in their seats, and we just didn't have time to meet with everybody. So yeah, kind of bummed about that. I really want to meet everybody. Okay, so let's get into the chat, see what you guys are saying, see who's here, and also make sure you sound off where you are watching from, your city, your state, your country, what kind of device you're on. It helps us understand exactly where everybody's watching from, and also gives you, the viewer, an idea in the chat, because this is a worldwide broadcast, and you're part of the show. So let's see. We have Larry says, love your channel, donate twice. Awesome. Sandra says she voted today. What's up, Sandra? We got Simply Shireen is also here. Big Bad John, what's up? Lookout Mountain. Nice. Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. Am I right? Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. What's up? Lizette's from Florida. Broke Cracker is here. From Indiana on my Chinese spy device. Yeah. We got Shauna from North Carolina. Graylee is here. Carrie is here. Becky is here. Betty. We've got, my goodness, the chat is blowing up here. San Diego, we got Kimmy Jack. Skipper Pete's, what's up, from Southern California. Penny's here from Mossy Head, Florida. We've got Townville, Trofer's there. Joseph from ATX. And we got someone from Ireland. E. Naughton from Ireland. What's up, Ireland? That's one half of my body is Irish. I often say I can eat like a Dago and drink like a Mick. That's me. I'm Italian and Irish, so I've got the best of both worlds there. We got Pothead Kenny. What's up, Pothead? Good to see you here. Pennsylvania in the house. Too good for you always. Cindy is here. Puerto Rico. Tito's calling in. AZ Hawkeye from Central Iowa. Jay from Toronto. What's up, Toronto? You guys got it rough up there, man. The Dance Channel's here. And if they were American, they'd vote for somebody. We got South Carolina. Jean is here. Lisa, 2XX chromosome from Eugene. Elvira is in the house. Oklahoma Red is here. And Acadia Angel. Enigal. Love the podcast. Sorry, I butchered your name. Everybody's here, and it's great to see everybody. Okay, so we've got a lot of news we got to cover. We're catching up. We're playing catch up today because we haven't gone live. We haven't been live in a couple days, and I want to get you the footage that we presented. We recorded the Tucker Carlson event. We've got updates on that event that happened this morning with the explosive device that was found at a Trump rally in New York. So much to get to, so let's just jump right into it, shall we, Brian? Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Tucker Carlson just lit up Milwaukee like a 4th of July fireworks show, and we've got the inside scoop with RFK Jr. and Larry Elder by his side. Tucker delivered a no-holds-barred takedown of the lies and deception plaguing our nation. You will not believe what was said when the cameras weren't rolling. It's the kind of raw, unfiltered truth that has the establishment running scared. Now, let's talk about protecting your wealth in these uncertain times. Our country's national debt has skyrocketed past $35 trillion. We're borrowing just to pay interest, digging ourselves deeper into a financial hole. Meanwhile, gold has surged past $2,400 an ounce. Smart money is shifting from paper promises to what our Constitution deems as real money, gold and silver. If you've got funds sitting idle in low-interest accounts or retirement plans, it's time to act. Call Global Gold Investments at the number on the screen, 888-700 4148. Mention Next News for VIP treatment and a free 2024 Protect Your Wealth and Retirement Guide. Visit IRAGoldproof.com. It's linked below. Remember, if you don't have gold, you don't have true wealth. Okay, let's take you behind the scenes at the Tucker Carlson event. Here is Angie and myself and Chad and Cindy. This is right after the show. It was a packed house, my friends. That place was packed. The energy was high. And if you don't know Chad, he's on the right there. And I have been doing activism with Chad for like 20 years, going back to my first organization that I started in Chicago. And he's a trusted friend and just gets things done. And that is his fiance, Cindy, there. And of course, Angie and I. Here is this. We had really great seats. This is when Larry was up on the stage with Tucker. This guy sitting in front of me. He was huge. He was very tall. And I had to keep like dodging around him. But thankfully, I had my selfie stick. I was able to get some shots. Here is RFK and Tucker. Now, just for some inside knowledge, if you want to see the first 10 minutes of what RFK said, uncensored, go to my X account. You'll see it. And this is after the show. The woman in the middle here, she was one of the speakers and organizers with Moms for America, and we got a chance to say hello to her. Great opportunity as well. Tucker Carlson live show in Milwaukee. Larry Elder, RFK Jr. was fun, amazing, affirming, and inspiring. If you can manage to snag tickets at a city near you, do it. I strongly encourage you to do so. Here's some pictures from that post. As you can see, Tucker was on fire. We're gonna play you a clip from Tucker. Here is backstage, right when RFK Jr. went on, and Debbie, who was with Moms of America, she was there recording it. And Tucker, when RFK went on stage, the place just lit up. It was amazing. And Tucker Carlson, one thing he mentioned: live events can't be censored. And live in Milwaukee, we saw the lies unravel in real time. Trust your instinct. The truth is still out there. Watch now, 10 minutes. Let's watch this together.
Before then, I worked on television. The reason that, it's funny, the reason that we're doing this tour, this is our 8th night, and we're doing the entire month of September. And the real reason I wanted to do it was I now work on the internet, and before then I worked on television. And the frustrating thing about, the frustrating thing about both of them is, there's a lot of censorship, and now more than ever. And so I just thought to myself, the one thing that you can't censor is a live event. You can really be completely honest because the people are right there. And if you're, in a room full of thousands of people, you can feel, very strong, now I'm revealing I'm from California, but a vibe coming off the people. And it's just wonderful. And people can be as honest as they want, which is extremely honest. And so I thought, I just need to do that after spending all day worried about what YouTube is doing to our videos. I just want to get out and talk to people directly. So after 8 days, I'm thinking, maybe I overstated it. Maybe the censorship, the distortion of the facts, the lying, the massive deception machine I've been a part of for 33 years now in the media, maybe it's not as bad as I thought. And then someone tries to shoot Trump again. I was here, actually the last time someone tried to shoot Trump, I was here in this room. And now I'm back again 2 days after, and I am just shocked watching the lying in real time. Shocked. I was it 2 days ago? And all of a sudden we're getting these reports, I call in there and get all the facts, and then I think, what are they saying in the media about it? So the first thing, if you tuned in, that you learned was that he was shot by a Trump supporter. Which totally makes sense. The guy loved him so much, he brought a rifle to the golf course and tried to murder him. I mean, that's kind of the way it works. It's like Putin blowing up his own natural gas pipeline. That makes sense. Totally. He's so evil, he's attacking himself. Right. Self-harm being like sort of the natural. And I'm watching this. They're literally telling me that this guy, whom they've arrested, is a Trump supporter. Huh? So you flip channels, and then you learn that I flipped over to a channel I used to work on. And there's Lindsey Graham. And I know. He's a Republican senator from one of the most conservative states. How does that happen, by the way? If democracy is real, how is Lindsey Graham a senator? But whatever.
Neocon.
So I'm watching Lindsey Graham, and Lindsey Graham's looking right into the camera. He's like, who did this? Iran. So I looked into this, yeah, that's for sure. Well, it turns out someone was a warmonger. Well, the guy who shot Trump was also a warmonger. And in fact, the closer you look at it, the more you realize his politics are exactly the same as Lindsey Graham's. He's a neocon. He literally volunteered in Ukraine. And Lindsey Graham's like, no, Iran did. It's like, no, you have no opinions that are different from this guy's. And you're lying to me. And the audience I used to speak to 5 nights a week, you were lying to them. I'm shouting this in my hotel room. Nobody heard me. My wife was brushing her teeth. She's like, what is that? They're lying! They're totally completely insane! And there's no mention of the fact that this guy, who by the way has been interviewed by every media outlet in Washington, this guy was like a very famous guy. You may not even know this. There's only really one place to learn any facts at all, and that's Elon Musk's social media. It's crazy. I don't have a TV at home, so I'm spared most of this. I have no idea what's going on. And by the way, I strongly recommend ignorance. If you're looking to stay happy in a moment like this, just know less. Unfortunately, my job requires me to know more, but if you think about it, did God punish Adam and Eve for ignorance? I don't think he did. He punished them for knowledge, so maybe I shouldn't watch cable news. This was I don't want to know what they're saying, but this week I've had to pay close attention. And every single thing is a lie, either directly, or it's a lie much more prevalent and much more sinister. It's a lie by omission. They're just not telling you the facts. And without belaboring the point, I'm using this as just one example among a countless number of examples where reality is completely distorted and the average person has not only no idea but no way of knowing what the truth is. So the guy who is now in custody for attempted murder against the Republican nominee, the former US President, Donald Trump, that guy has been interviewed countless times by every big media outlet in the United States. He's got, a criminal record the length of your arm, 20 charges, including possession of weapons of mass destruction. The New York Times didn't bother to learn any of that before they held him up as a freedom fighter in Ukraine, where he was living. And then the piece describes the contact he's had with members of Congress and their staffs and other US government agencies. Wait a second, that's the same guy who brought a rifle with a scope to a golf course in South Florida to murder Donald Trump. He's had all these contacts with US government agencies. Like, I don't know what that's about. But I think it's time to find out. No? Yes. But no one's gonna find out. It's just gonna be memory holding. In a week it will never have happened. And you'll be the crazy person for remembering. People are like, what? Didn't some Trump supporter bring a rifle because you're against gun control or something? It's like, no, that's not what happened. A guy who was a darling of the New York Times, who has the exact same worldview as Lindsey Graham, decided to try and murder Donald Trump, and it'll be completely gone. It will have disappeared. And so I guess what I would say is that it's of vital importance to get unfiltered information from honest people. Now, how do you know honest people? How do you know if someone is being honest? It's very hard. But one of the main reasons you know, I don't know what you're saying, but I know that I agree with you. If I could hear you, I would shout back whatever you're shouting, because I feel like you're on. From the pitch of your voice, I can tell you're on to something. Well, I love you too, I heard that. So here's the answer to the question. How do you know if someone is telling the truth? And this has been my obsession for the last year, having worked in the middle of the deception machine and not even realizing it. Until the day you get fired, you're like, what was it like having an alcoholic spouse? Everyone knows, except you. So I'm very fixated on this fact, which is that almost all of the information that we received has been curated and spun and reduced in size. Relevant facts have been omitted, irrelevant facts have been pushed to the fore in order to manipulate how we feel. And so how do you defeat that? Well, one of the main way that you defeat that, your first line of defense, are your instincts. I've come to believe this. You know when someone's lying. you can feel it. And I know this because I have so many dogs. No, I'm serious. My dogs cannot speak English that I'm aware of. And yet, if you come to my house and you're weird, my dogs know immediately. They can smell weirdness on you. They can smell deception on you. They don't like you at all. They will bark at you. They will cower in the corner. Now, how is that? They haven't seen your tax returns. They haven't talked to your wife, but they know. And they know because we all know. If you get a vibe off someone that suggests deception, that person is lying. If you get a vibe that suggests weirdness, Tim Walz, for example. I'm just saying. First of all, I went to boarding school in the 80s in New England, okay? We had dormasters like Mr. Walz. The second I saw that guy, I was like, it's not babysitting in my house. I'm sorry, no way. Oh, that's so unfair. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because my instincts didn't just alert me to this, they screamed at full volume. This guy's a creeper. Period. Therefore, I don't have the evidence necessary to indict in a court of law. I don't. I'm not going to press charges against Tim Walz. Someone may at some point. It's not going to be me. Because I don't have the information. I have the instinct, and that's all I need. And the same is true, very true, for deception. And if you're watching someone, I don't want to name names because I don't even mean Lindsey Graham, and you look at that person, and you're like, I think that person's trying to sell me something. I think that person may not be telling the full truth. You are right. You are right. Our main weakness as people is that we override the truth as delivered by our instincts, by our higher mind, and we talk ourselves out of knowing what we already know. You already know. And you know because God gave you those instincts as maybe the most important gift you received at birth to protect you from deception and harm. Your instincts are not trying to sell you something. They're not trying to get elected to anything. Their only job is to serve you, so do not ignore them. You know lying when you hear it. I felt this during COVID. I don't think I passed high school biology. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I may have gotten the answers on the test from my then girlfriend, now my wife. Actually, I did. I'll just be honest. I did. I did. Reason that judging that, it's funny.
So that was just a little snippet. I actually have posted the entire event in Milwaukee on the X profile. Tucker did release it. This was interesting. Right outside the event, an individual saw Tucker right afterwards, met Tucker in traffic last night in Milwaukee, asked him if we were his best crowd yet. This was his answer. Listen to this.
Tucker!
I mean, I didn't say what I really think, which
Love
is
this
I
guy.
love Wisconsin. I know a lot of people who aren't from Wisconsin, so I don't want to say that, but yeah, after Maine, it's my favorite state.
We're from Illinois, this shit home. Yeah! Pray for us!
I don't want to say that!
Keep it up! Woo! Tucker! Tucker!
And he says, you can hear me respond in the background. We're from Illinois. It's a excrement hole. To which he cracked up laughing. Classic Tucker, most normal dude I've ever met. Yeah, certainly was an amazing evening with everybody there in Milwaukee. So I hope that you'll go to our X account, check out the full event. And if you haven't got tickets yet, make sure if you're in one of the areas where there will be appearing, make sure you get tickets and you attend. Okay, and I think we're going to try and do another giveaway for a future event, so stay tuned to the channel. So what we witnessed in Milwaukee was more than just a show. It was a rallying cry for truth. Tucker, RFK Jr., and Larry Elder didn't just speak, they ignited a movement. They exposed the lies, they challenged the narrative, and they showed us what real journalism looks like. Now, this is not just about politics. It's about reclaiming our nation's soul. So stay tuned, because this is only the beginning. Okay, let's check in with the chat and see what you guys are saying about Tucker and the event. Working now, gotta go, says Resto. I have to watch later, says Sure You Gospel. And Pothead Kenny says, it was awesome. Felt like we were there with you. Yeah, right there next to me, right, with that video. It was funny. I had my selfie stick up and actually got in one of the shots. So if you're watching the full event, you'll see my selfie stick like pop up And one of the security guards came up to me afterwards. He's like, "How'd you get that in here?" I'm like, "Well, we came in through the employee entrance and just got in." So that was pretty cool. Let's see. Who else? What else do we have here? Restos in northern Wisconsin. Tucker is my ideal creative business partner, red, white, and blue, first says based Murdoch. Ontario, Canada's in the house. Wisdom brings sorrow. It is biblical, says I Remastered. Let's see what else people are saying here. Base Murdoch says Gary's the man. Really enjoyed Tucker. Tucker is a patriot, says Skipper. We love you too, Lizette. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed Tucker. Always a patriot. Good thing you're one of the good guys getting in like that. Yeah, I'm surprised I was able to get that selfie. I mean, I didn't realize the selfie stick was prohibited, but they never said anything. But I'll tell you, the rules for media was like, why? Like, I would rather just go and sit and watch the show. And the girl said, "Go get your tickets." We were able to get 4 excellent seats in like the 8th row, and she's like, "Yeah, if you want to record, you got to go all the way to the back of the house by the soundboard, and your shot's going to be garbage. It's going to be garbage unless you have a really good camera with a really good lens." She's like, "You can just record right from your seat." She's like, "You'll get a better shot." And I'm like, "Okay." So anyway, it was awesome. It was awesome. Make sure you guys get the tickets. Okay. And Kathy, yes, it was. Oh, Meathead, yes, the place was packed. The place was absolutely packed. And Kathy, a great message from Tucker. Yes, that's why you really need to go and watch the whole thing. It's, again, posted on my X account on Next News Network. And the stuff in our next report, we're going to play some RFK from that event. But it has to be YouTube safe, if you know what I mean. So the full show on X is worth the watch. So make sure you get yourself some coffee, some popcorn, and you pay attention to that. Okay, let's get into our next story here. Brace yourselves, America. We're about to dive into a story that's so shocking, so outrageous that the mainstream media is desperately trying to bury it. Former President Donald Trump, yes, he has survived a second assassination attempt over the weekend. You heard that right. Not one, but 2 attempts on his life in a matter of months. The details are jaw-dropping, the implications are staggering, and the media's silence is deafening. So buckle up, folks. This is a story you won't hear anywhere else. And of course, we've got the details on that bomb scare that happened earlier today. Now, picture this. You're driving down the highway, minding your own business, when suddenly chaos erupts. Would you be prepared? Recent reports show drivers with dash cams are 60% less likely to be found at fault in accidents. That's where CarVision X comes in. It's not just a dash cam, it's your personal road guardian. With 4K Ultra HD night vision, 24/7 motion detection that captures every detail. It's not just about security, it's about peace of mind. And right now, CarVision X was offering free express shipping and exclusive bonuses. Don't wait for an accident. Or don't wait for an accident to wish you had one. Visit carvisionx.com now and drive with confidence. Your future self will thank you. Okay, now before we get into some of the strange details related to that assassination attempt, we do have to address what happened earlier today. This was just breaking news. Nassau County Police Commissioner says reports of explosives being found at the Trump Long Island rally site are unfounded. Okay, there's a person who is being questioned who may have been training a bomb detection dog near the site. That's according to the Commissioner of Police. Development comes after reporter James Lalino says a source told him police found explosives. Sources in Nassau County Police told me that the perimeter was breached and a blue barrel was removed from the area surrounding the rally site. During their checks, they found an explosive device in one of the vehicles. The driver ended up running into the woods. No one saw if he had anything on him. They just saw him take off running. A lot of cars parking. They're lining up Hempstead Turnpike, just parking on the grass. Even over at Eisenhower Park, they're just parking over there. So, again, the tensions are so high right now with this election. 2 assassination attempts. And everybody is on edge. So it's no surprise that the reaction today on this bomb scare is the way it is. I started getting text messages, you know, and just like hitting the news wires and trying to make sense of it all. Jack Posobiec, Trump rally car explosive story is fake news. That's according to a top campaign source who told the National Pulse. Reports of explosive found at Trump rally in Long Island are false. So let's be clear about that. It is not. It is a false story. Nassau County, New York, police are denying reports of explosive devices found near a Trump rally on Long Island. Okay, so let's just be very clear that tensions are high. We understand that, and people are going to jump to conclusions, and the news is going to spread very quickly when something like this happens. So we want to make sure everybody's aware it did not happen. There was not a actual bomb threat at the event. So getting into the assassination. This just was posted. A 3D recreation by AI Telly of the recent Trump assassination shows you just how gut-wrenchingly close we were to seeing Trump getting shot. Let's take a look at this.
In this animation, we observe Mr. Trump traveling in a reinforced golf cart, unaware of the imminent danger. Little did he know the gunman had him in his sights, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. The assailant was armed with an AK-47 fitted with a scope to improve his accuracy. Based on the analysis, Trump was approximately 300 to 500 yards away from the gunman at the time, which is approximately 200 to 457 meters. As the president stepped out of the golf cart and prepared to take his shot, a Secret Service agent noticed something suspicious. The suspect had inserted the barrel of his rifle through a gap in the chain-link fence on the outskirts of Trump International Golf Course. This took place at approximately 1:28 or 1:29 p.m. The moment the rifle barrel emerged through the chain fence, the Secret Service acted swiftly. Shots were fired at around 1:30 p.m., neutralizing the threat before the gunman could execute his plan. The suspect, identified as Ryan Wesley Routh, 58, intended to create shock and awe, capturing the entire incident on his GoPro camera.
So he was going to publish that. And what's really interesting, we're finding a lot of really bizarre details about this guy. And apparently, Trump reacted last night. We're going to get to that clip in a second. Mr. Reagan said he went through a lot of Ryan's Wesley Routh's social media. There's no denying it. The deceptive, inflammatory rhetoric of the mainstream news media and Democrat politicians is to blame for this assassination attempt. Now, this guy has been all over the media. I mean, he's been interviewed by the New York Times and Newsweek of all places. The alleged Trump shooter spoke to the New York Times in 2023, where he claimed he was in D.C. to meet with the pro-Ukrainian Helsinki Commission staffed by bipartisan pro-Ukraine members of Congress. This is according to the New York Times. He was there to meet for 2 hours to help push for more support for Ukraine. The commission is led by members of Congress and staffed by congressional aides. It's influential on members of democracy and security. It's been vocal in supporting Ukraine. This is the list of all the individuals who are on that commission. So what's going on? How did this guy, what's his connection to this intelligence apparatus? Here's the New York Post second assassination attempt. Again, this is their front page. Let's see Eric Trump responding to this. This is just about 24 hours ago.
Let me just be very clear. Well, Sean, my reaction is it feels like deja vu. It feels like 5 weeks ago you and I are having the exact same conversations we're having today. Let me just be very clear. They are trying to kill the man. They are trying to kill my father. They are trying to kill the 45th president of the United States. That man right there, that man is a hero to so many Americans. This is a guy who saved this country. This is a guy who spent the last decade fighting tooth and nail under the most unthinkable attacks to save the country, against his own comfort, against his own family's interest, against his business issue. They tried to take him down. They tried to throw him in jail. They tried to bankrupt him. They tried to separate his family. They tried to take him off the ballot and subvert democracy in this country. They've done everything they could. They tried to impeach him. They took down his friends. They did everything. Yet that man right there is still fighting. And I expect him to be protected. I expect him to be safe. This country expects to have democracy. And then I get to hear Kamala Harris at a debate say that that man right there, who's the most brave person I've ever met, is a threat to democracy. You know, Sean, the bullets are only going one way. It's really interesting how that works. Why is it that that man right there is taking every bullet literally and figuratively? He's taken every bullet from a weaponized system. He's taken every bullet from a gun. And guess what? The media sweeps it under the rug. You know, I heard an interesting statement the other day. It was actually a meme the other day on social media that the Will Smith slap got more attention than Butler, Pennsylvania. And I think that's close to being true because the mainstream media swept it under the rug as quickly as they could and moved on to their next shiny ball to try and promote either Joe Biden at the time or Kamala Harris, which they do every single time. I mean, why is this person literally the punching bag for absolutely everything? And then you hear Kamala coming out and saying, yes, you know, Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. The only threat to democracy is the people who are trying to kill that incredible man right there. Again, somebody loved by the entire country. And, you know, they've got to tone down that rhetoric. The whole, you know, Joe Biden, we're going to put a bullseye on Donald Trump. That has to end. The Maxine Waters comments, they have to end. The mainstream media who goes after him every single day, it has to end. They are creating a culture of hate in this country. And do you know what, Sean? If we ever lost one of our leaders, if we ever lost a presidential nominee, a former president, we'd look like a third world country. It cannot happen in the United States of America. They have to get the resources to keep our political leaders safe. We have to do a better job. We cannot have a third incident. There will not be a third incident. We cannot have this conversation again, Sean. You and I have had too many of them.
Unbelievable. Yeah. The media, the rhetoric, amplifying all of this. And we have, here it is. Listen to this. MSNBC suggesting it's the Trump campaign who need to tone down the rhetoric following the shooting of Trump at Trump Golf Club where Trump was playing golf. Listen to this. These people have no shame at all.
Yeah. Do you expect there to be calls from within the Trump campaign to do that? Because he's going to reach out to his supporters and say, let's take this down. We do not know, again, the source of any gunshot or gunshots. We don't know who's responsible for this. The whole thing has yet to be 100% confirmed from start to finish how this all played out. But do you expect to hear anything from the Trump campaign about toning down the rhetoric, toning down the violence, or would that be atypical of the former president?
Well, Alex, remember back to the assassination attempt on President Trump's life and how, you know, there was talk of a new tone, and then the Republican convention was, by Trumpian standards, muted. And it did seem like he was, you know, just trying to take it down a few notches. But then by the end of his convention speech, you know, we were kind of back to where we started. So I don't know how long this could, you know, this moment of unity for the country where we come together and we say, I don't want any political opposition to be under threat of violence. It's not okay, any threat of violence, you know, we don't want. I would love for us to have a unity type moment, but I think it's probably going to be pretty fleeting, as we've seen in the past.
Yeah. So the media continuing to ramp up the rhetoric. Donald Trump responding about Biden. Let's listen to him.
You know what happened has given us, and I have to say that President Biden called me yesterday. It was very nice. We had a very nice conversation. I appreciated that he called about, you know, what happened the other day, and he says he's committed. He's committed. No, but and today, a little while ago, I got a very nice call from Kamala. No, it was very nice. It was very nice. It was very, very nice, and we appreciate that. But we have to take back our country. We have to win. We're going to win, and we're going to make America great again. That's all there is to it. Very simple. Right?
So Biden and Kamala reaching out to Trump after the event. Let's go play this. Tucker asks RFK in Milwaukee. This is my recording. Tucker asked RFK about this event. Let's listen.
There was appears to be a second assassination attempt on Donald Trump. in just a couple months. What do you make of this?
I don't know what to make. I mean, I think we're seeing an impact, at least partially. I mean, I don't know I just don't know enough about what's happened, and I've been reading some of the internet stuff about the connections that this man may or may not have had to the intelligence agencies, etc. And I don't know what to make of it. I do know that there's an antagonism and a violence in our society now that I feel is orchestrated. I feel that we're living in and you remember a couple of years ago when they had the Occupy Wall Street movement, and they were trying to frame this debate as the 99% against the 1%. And I feel like since then, we've all been turned against each other, where it's 50% against 50%. And when the king and queen go out on the balustrades of their castle, and they look out across their people, and they're all fighting each other, they go back to the banquet hall and they pop champagne corks because they know nobody's coming over the wall against them. And boy, that's true. And I think, so many of I announced my campaign almost 18 months ago. And what I said at that point is I'm not going to feed into the vitriol and the anger and the name calling, the demonization of my opponents. I'm going to be civil to all of them. And I'm going to try to identify values that all of Americans have in common, rather than focusing on these smaller issues that are used, the kind of cultural issues that are used to keep us all at each other's throats. Because I've watched what's happening in this country, and there's all these systems that have been put in place to shift wealth and power upwards, to clamp down totalitarian controls on the rest of us. And they all kind of culminated during COVID, where we saw all of our 3.3 million businesses shut down with no due process, no just compensation. $4.3 trillion shifted from the American middle class to this new oligarchy of billionaires. We created during 500 days, 500 new billionaires were created in 500 days of lockdown. And the American middle class has essentially been obliterated in this country. And I think and all this money is being shifted up to BlackRock and State Street and Vanguard and the other big financial houses and big pharma and big tech and big ag and big food that are strip mining the American public of wealth, sucking it upward and leaving nothing below. And the way that they keep that system in place, that they keep us from doing anything about it, is to keep us all hating on each other. I think the anger that we have at each other also turns into violence. And, when my uncle was running for president, when my uncle was president in 1963, there was a tremendous anger that was coming out of the civil rights movement and other things that he was doing, shutting down the war against Castro and the war against Russia. There was tremendous anger and poison. When he landed in Dallas on November 22nd, there was a full-page ad in the big newspaper in Dallas saying, "Wanted dead or alive," and there was a picture of my uncle on it, and there were posters all over the street that day.
There was a second appears.
There's RFK. And again, go to my X account, see the full uncensored version. Very important message that he presented there about the way the media presented his uncle, JFK, and similar rhetoric that we're seeing today. Here's President Trump. This is his account of what happened.
This is the second assassination attempt in 2 months. I would imagine the average person could be pretty shaken up by that. Tell us what happened. How are you doing? And I have a few other follow-up questions as it relates to this.
Well, I'm doing fine. It was Sunday, and just very briefly, because I think most people have heard it, I want to start talking about the borders and the economy and inflation and all of the things we want to talk about. But it was on a golf course, Trump International in West Palm, and we heard shots ring out around the fifth hole or so. We heard shots ring out, and they were pretty obviously shots, but the Secret Service said they were definitely shots. And it turned out to be the Secret Service agent who had caught somebody a couple of holes in advance and caught him by the fence, which protects the property. He was on the other side of the fence. He saw a gun barrel hanging outside of the fence, which is pretty amazing. That's a great job. Did really a great job. Frankly, I think the Secret Service did a great job. And they got me out of there quickly. And they then went after him, and they were lucky enough to have somebody that took the license plate, which was genius. And they nabbed him on the highway. But it was another day. It was very interesting. We want to get to business. We want to get to the business of running the country. Our country has never done this badly, Sean. We're like a laughing stock all over the world, and we have to get back to running the border properly. What's happening in Ohio, Colorado, and every other state is just crazy. It's like a takeover of our country by people that are coming in, and they're coming in with guns, or they're getting guns after they get in. They have the most powerful weapons you can have.
Apparently, he was golfing with Hannity at the time. So it's ironic that you would have Hannity interviewing him. Hannity was right there when it all happened. Here is this clip's going viral. Fox News' Peter Doocy roasting Karine Jean-Pierre for her and the White House continued violent rhetoric, and KGP wasn't happy.
Word to 2 days since somebody allegedly tried to kill Donald Trump again. And you're here at the podium in the White House briefing room calling him a threat. How many more assassination attempts on Donald Trump until the president and the vice president and you pick a different word to describe Trump other than threat?
Peter, if anything from this administration, I actually completely disagree with the premise of your question.
Wow.
The question that you're asking. It is also incredibly dangerous in the way that you're asking it, because American people are watching. And to say that from an administration who has consistently condemned political violence, from an administration where the president called the former president and was grateful that he was okay, from an administration who has called out January 6th, called out the attack of Paul Pelosi, called out and said we need to lower the temperature after the Butler incident, and now for you to make that kind of comment in your question, because your question involved a comment and a statement. And, it is, that is also incredibly dangerous.
2 days.
So when you have the White House press secretary using language like that, his question is absolutely valid, because it's lunatics who hear that and they go, yeah, we need to act on this threat, and they take action. President Trump dropping the receipts on every single Democrat who's contributed to the hateful rhetoric against him, which has led to 2 assassination attempts. Kamala Harris, a number of times. Joe Biden, it's time to put Trump in a bullseye. Joe Biden, Trump and MAGA Republicans are a threat to the very soul of this country. Joe Biden, Trump, and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundation of our republic and is a threat to this country. Jasmine Crockett, MAGA in general, they are threats to us domestically. Dan Goldman, he is destructive to our democracy and has to be eliminated. This is the rhetoric that is being used. And lunatics are acting on this. I mean, look at this. This list goes on and on and on. It's unbelievable, the level of rhetoric that is continuing to be used against Donald Trump and his supporters. The White House slamming J.D. Vance for saying no one has tried to assassinate VP Harris, while former President Trump has survived 2 assassination attempts.
Political rhetoric. Do you have any reaction to Senator Vance's comments in which he noted that the difference between, in his view, the difference between Republicans and Democrats is that no one has tried to assassinate Vice President Harris?
You know, again, got to be mindful. Obviously, he's a candidate. But when you are a national leader, and you have a community that looks up to your leadership, and you have a job where you're supposed to make people's lives better, where you're supposed to do the thing that is right on behalf, not just the American people, but on behalf of this country, people entrust in you to do just that, entrust in you to make decisions that's going to move this country forward, to make it the great country that it is. And when you have that type of language out there, it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Hilarious.
Because people look up to that particular national leader.
I mean, she might as well be talking about herself and all the Democrats we just mentioned here, right? They're the ones using this violent rhetoric and to try to condemn J.D. Vance. Please.
Listen to you when you are a national leader. And when you make comments like that, all it does is create or opens an opportunity for people to listen to you and potentially take you very seriously.
And that's exactly what these lunatics are doing. It's exactly what these lunatics are doing. Here is the actual, here's a picture of the Ryan Wesley Routh, who appeared in a Ukrainian propaganda video. And you know what's odd is that this guy here was also in a BlackRock video. Just like Crooks, the Butler assassin, he was in a BlackRock video. I mean, what are the chances of that? The rhetoric, Washington Times, the rhetoric is causing me to be shot at when I'm the one who's going to save the country. They're the ones that are destroying the country, both from inside and out. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has initiated state-level investigation into the assassination attempt. This decision comes from DeSantis' stated distrust in federal agencies. Well, no doubt. Mike Engelman, Democrats are going on cable news networks daily advocating violence against Trump, the message to another deranged copycat lunatic. The New York Slimes headline hails an assassin as a crusader. President Trump's round of golf was not on any public schedule, so how did the suspect know President Trump was golfing there near the 5th hole? A lot of people are alleging that this was an inside job, especially with the alleged shooter's connections to Ukraine, connections to Congress.
If this was another potential assassin returned to the White House, but this event was not on any kind of public schedule, so it's not clear how this alleged lone gunman knew the former president would be playing golf today, and also at what time. We heard the president was on the 5th hole on the front 9 at Trump International. How did this lone gunman know? Perhaps he followed the motorcade. Of course, when the former president travels, he travels in a motorcade. He has Secret Service protection. But that is one of the things. If this was another if this was another potential assassin, how he had this information about where former President Trump was playing golf. Of course, he owns numerous golf courses in the state of Florida, Doral in the Miami area, but of course, Trump International is the closest to Mar-a-Lago and Palm Beach, where he resides. That is one of the big questions we hope to hear in this press conference coming up shortly, Eric.
Yeah, and even if you don't know exactly what his schedule is, if you're a local, you know that the former president plays golf. You can obviously see a police and the Secret Service presence. You can see the motorcade, and you know when that is happening. And we see a motorcade right now going over the bridge from Palm Beach over the bridge over to West Palm Beach.
It's not a far trip.
The former president spoke to Brett Baer, and Brett is quoting the former president as saying, quote, "Tell everybody I am fine, and the Secret Service did a great job." So in light of the new reporting that the Secret Service did what it's supposed to do, it saw a threat to the president, a potential threat, a man with an AK-47 within the vicinity of the former president on the street, a few hundred yards apparently away from the fifth hole, and the Secret Service agent did what they are trained to do.
Here is a shot of the fifth hole where it all went down, where the alleged assassin waited. They say he waited for approximately 12 hours to get that opportunity. Donald Trump writing on X, "I want to thank everyone for your concern and well wishes. It was certainly an interesting day. Most importantly, I want to thank U.S. Secret Service, Sheriff Rick Bradshaw, and his Office of Brave and Dedicated Patriots." And I want to leave you with this. Tim Scott. After the second assassination attempt on President Trump, it's time for Christians, left and right, red or blue, black and white, to come together to pray for this nation, to pray for a political process without any violence. This is what America needs. We need believers. We need believers on their knees asking God for all candidates to be safe.
And believers, I'm asking pastors and believers to come together to pray for this great nation. Our political process has no room for violence in it. I will say this and say it clearly. After the second assassination attempt, it is time for Christians, left and right, red or blue, black and white, to come together to pray for this nation, to pray for a political process without any violence. It is what America needs. We need all believers on their knees asking God for all candidates to be safe in the political process. God bless America. Get on our knees. It's time for us to pray.
Amen. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we have just uncovered about this assassination attempt is just the tip of the iceberg. The questions it raises, the connections it reveals, is enough to make your head spin. But here's the bottom line. This is not just about Trump. It is about the state of our nation, the integrity of our institutions, and the future of our republic. So stay vigilant, America. The truth is out there, and we are going to find it. All right, let's get your reactions. Okay. Skipper Pete's. Holla. What's up? Moon rising. The left incites every time they get a chance. KGP. Kamala. Asked by Ellen. She was struck with 3 presidents in the elevator. Well, yeah, I remember that one. Seven Samurai says, my Japanese dad is right wing, my Italian mom is left wing. Me, I love fried chicken wings and ice cold beer. Okay. Lorick says, not all of us are Christians who support President Trump. Why you try to alienate us by religion is a disservice to America. Well, you certainly don't have to pray if you don't want to. Not trying to alienate you. You just don't have to. It's a suggestion. Do it or not. It's up to you. Big John says, there's a planned hit on Trump. These are not lone gunmen. No one is talking about the third attempt in New York. Okay, well, we did bring that up at the beginning of this story, and it was not an actual explosive device that was found. It was a false report, and people overreacted. So let's make that clear. KX Rider says they mention it's a popular spot to hide for the news photographers and paparazzi. All right. Let's get on with our next story. Our next segment of the raw feed. Oh, yes. Strange how this story came out. Hold on to your seats, folks, because we're about to blow the lid off a scandal that's rocking the media world. An ABC News whistleblower has come forward with explosive allegations about the recent Trump-Harris debate. We're talking collusion, bias, and outright manipulation at the highest levels. It's not just about the debate, it's about the integrity of our entire media system. The implications are staggering, and you will not believe what we have uncovered. Now, folks, have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? Well, I recently saw a video he made, and I was shocked. At 84, he's still kicking butt, working out, and staying active. How? He made one simple change, and now he feels like he's in his 50s with energy to spare for his grandkids. His wife started doing it too, and she feels a decade younger. Chuck's made a special video explaining everything, and trust me, it'll change the way you think about health. Watch it now at chuckdefense.com/next, or click the link below. It's so simple, you won't believe it. Don't miss out on this chance to transform your health like Chuck. Visit chuckdefense.com/next now. Okay, so let's jump into this because I found it to be absolutely bizarre. When this story broke, when the affidavit was released, it was all over X. And then a short while after, an assassination attempt, a second assassination attempt on Trump, and this story suddenly gets buried. Now, I'm not saying they're connected, but I'm saying it's amazing how the news cycle just moves so quickly and information can get lost. So that's why we're here to break it down for you. WorldNet Daily, ABC whistleblower affidavit has been released. It alleges as a sworn statement under penalty of perjury that ABC coordinated with the Harris campaign to give her sample questions, assurances that Trump would be fact-checked and Kamala would not, and favorable accommodations for Kamala's appearance on screen. These are the screenshots of the actual affidavit that has been published. It was dispatched via Federal Express on September 9th, delivered to his residence, the whistleblower's residence, and will remain unopened for potential investigative purposes. So he basically, before the debate, mailed the package to himself so that it would be stamped and sealed, proving that he's not making these things up post-debate. And there's allegations in this affidavit that it states they have audio evidence, audio recordings that will be released, showing the collusion. Now, we've got Megyn Kelly also weighing in. We're going to play that clip too. But first, let's listen to this one man and his breakdown.
And said, so the whistleblower from ABC's affidavit has come out, and it ain't looking good for ABC, guys. For those of y'all that don't know about this situation, there was a whistleblower at ABC that has come out and said that they were going to release their affidavit today, claiming that the debate against Donald Trump and Kamala Harris was completely biased and was to swing in the favor of Kamala. Here's the first page of it. Pause and read, guys. This is the second page. This is what we're going to talk about. Furthermore, the Harris campaign imposed restrictions on the scope of questioning, including no questions regarding the perceived health of President Joe Biden. No inquiries related to her tenure as Attorney General in San Francisco. Why wouldn't they want questions about her tenure as Attorney General in San Francisco getting out? That's like her whole experience as a political candidate. No questions concerning her brother-in-law, Tony West, who faces allegations of embezzling billions of dollars in taxpayer funds, who may be involved in her administration if elected. Why wouldn't they want questions about her brother-in-law getting out, especially if he's being accused of embezzling taxpayer funds?
Now, a side note, if you want to learn more about this Tony West character, on my X account, I have retweeted a post that you need to see. It goes into great detail about what this Tony West person has done and who he's connected to. Very important. I want you to go look at that.
And then it goes to say, I've observed a pronounced bias against Donald Trump within ABC News. Employees expressing favorable views towards him experience significant concerns about potential retribution. In the workforce, we call that retaliation, which is illegal as fuck, guys. But if y'all want to take screenshots, here you go. This is just the affirmation of documentation, claiming he sent letters to so-and-so, and so forth. But get your screenshots. And this is the last page of the affidavit. And this is straight up election interference, guys. This proves that ABC sways favor towards a presidential candidate, and it's uncalled for.
Now, Megyn Kelly, she went deep in this. We're going to play Megyn Kelly's reaction to this. But what's interesting is that ABC actually responded to these allegations to the Daily Beast. One commenter said, honestly, ABC's hesitant response to the Daily Beast about the debate whistleblower is telling. Instead of lobbing defamation nukes or ardent denials, they barely muster enough strength to squeak out a timid, carefully crafted statement. In a statement to the Daily Beast, ABC News did not address any of the specific allegations. They just state ABC News followed the debate rules that both campaigns agreed on, in which clearly state no topics or questions will be shared in advance with campaign or candidates. ABC made a statement regarding the only thing ABC said was they did not give the questions or topics. Representative Dan Mauser suggests ABC News might be called in to testify in Congress, revealing that a whistleblower has come forward with new information, emphasizing efforts are underway to have ABC answer for the situation. This was on Fox News. So let's go to Megyn Kelly first.
Yes. True. ABC News is finished.
Agree.
That's why it's a big deal. That's why, you've got Bill Ackman out there demanding that Bob Iger, Bill Ackman is nothing to shake a stick at. He's a very prominent American citizen, businessman, and he's demanding that Bob Iger respond to this affidavit right now. And there are many others all over the internet demanding a response. Just deny it. Go on the record and say, this is bullshit. None of this is true. Come forward. The whistleblower should come forward with his, I think it's a he, name and face and make these allegations on the record, to your point, so we can assess credibility. We can figure out whatever bias he has. He says he's not a Donald Trump supporter. He's not even going to vote for Donald Trump in this election. The thing that's the most persuasive about it to me, Emily, on the other side of the roster, like suggesting that this could indeed be real, is that it's dated September 9th. He says that it was sent certified mail to himself and Speaker Johnson on that day. And so this is before the debate ever happened. And we've got a little time, so I'm going to read you some of it, okay? Because people may want to hear this. He says, he's been duly sworn. You do sign an affidavit under penalties of perjury when he's committed a crime, if this is untrue, and if in fact it's a real affidavit. He says, this is my name, though it's been blocked out. I've worked for ABC News, ABC, and then lowercase news, which would be interesting, for over 10 years in various technical and administrative positions. Now that right there is interesting. Technical and administrative positions is not a reporter. It could be somebody who is in tech around the journalists who might be present as certain discussions are had. The journalists often kind of forget about the tech people around them. They have enough to think about. They don't really think about the supportive tech staff. And they certainly wouldn't be hiding conversations from these guys who you generally trust implicitly. But this guy goes on to say that bias is running rampant inside ABC News to the consternation of many of the employees. So maybe some of the tech guys or administrative people started to get upset because most interestingly, this guy's claiming he has tapes of the conversations he's alleging in this thing. Okay, so I go on. Technical and administrative positions, he says he's held. Since the acquisition of ABC News in 1996, which would have been before his tenure there, I have observed significant transformation in the nature of the news reporting here. The changes suggest a shift from unbiased reporting to a model influenced by external factors. For the record, I do not endorse Donald Trump in his capacity as a candidate for president. The intent of this affidavit is to address concerns regarding perceived biases within the news reporting by my employer at this debate that will be hosted tomorrow, September 10th. Skipping over some things, but he says it's common knowledge that debate moderators as well as chief executive officers of my employer are well known not to support Donald Trump, which led to several employees speaking up in regards to how fair this debate would be. We were given assurances the debate would be fair and no one would be given an unfair advantage. It is my belief that contemporary news organizations, including ABC News, no longer adhere to impartiality. He goes on to say the specific instances of perceived bias are as follows. This is what he's claiming he knows prior to the debate. The Harris campaign received particular accommodations, including but not limited to providing of a podium significantly smaller than that used by Donald Trump. Well, I think we all saw that. That definitely happened. I don't know that that's inappropriate. She's just 5'2". And assurances regarding split screen television views that would favorably impact Kamala Harris's appearance relative to Trump. That's interesting. It was agreed that Donald Trump would be subjected to fact-checking during the debate, while Kamala Harris would not face comparable scrutiny. Now, that's totally out of line, if that is true. If there is one word of that is true, that they agreed with her team they would be fact-checking Trump and or agreed she wouldn't be facing comparable scrutiny, these guys are toast. Toast. The debate moderator, Lindsay Davis, is out there already saying we plan to fact check Trump. We saw the criticism against CNN for not fact checking Trump. And that's why we had all these fact checkers across ABC running down his claims he'd made at interviews or in rallies. Now, that would be a normal thing to do as a debate moderator, but you would do it for both sides. I don't know whether they did it for Kamala Harris. I certainly saw that they never once fact checked her. But this guy's saying there was an agreement that Trump would be subjected to fact-checking during the debate, and Kamala Harris would not.
Yeah, this is huge, friends. This is a big story, and looks like it's already going to be going into Congress. ABC being dragged before Congress. Let's take a look at this clip. And it also, this clip you're about to see also shows that recent interview, the local news interview that Kamala gave. Now, if you watch the actual live, unedited version, all she does is speak in word salads. But the version that they released, the clips that they released were heavily edited. Wait till you see this.
Yeah, it's almost like they're...
A local Philadelphia ABC affiliate is now being accused of editing its interview with Kamala Harris on Friday to hide her rambling word salad response when asked about how she would tackle inflation. I want you to watch these two clips. First, here's the actual word salad response from the full interview that ABC posted on the website. Watch this.
When we talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people, what are one or two specific things you have in mind for that?
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid. My mother raised my sister and me. She worked very hard. You know, I grew up in a neighborhood of folks who were very proud of their lawn. You know, we as Americans have a beautiful character. You know, we have ambitions and aspirations and dreams, but not everyone necessarily has access to the resources that can help them fuel those dreams and ambitions. So when I talk about building an opportunity economy, it is very much with the mind of investing in the ambitions and aspirations.
There you go, a non-answer. Now here's the clip of what actually aired on the local news broadcast at 6 p.m. on the local ABC station. You can see how it was edited to remove Harris's rambling response and instead went straight to her explaining economic policies. Watch this.
We touched on a range of topics, including the economy, maybe biggest in the mind of voters. And on that, I asked her to get specific. When we talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people, what are one or two specific things you have in mind for that?
So when I talk about building an opportunity,
there's the edit. They edited the interview. Absolutely shameful.
Economy, it is very much with the mind of investing in the ambitions and aspirations and the incredible work ethic of the American people, and creating opportunity for people, for example, to start a small business. So my opportunity economy plan includes giving startups a $50,000 tax deduction to start their small business. It used to be $5,000. Nobody can start a small business with $5,000. Opportunity economy means, look, we don't have enough housing in America. We have a housing supply shortage. And what that means, in particular for so many younger Americans, the American dream is elusive. It's just actually not attainable.
More of the same, Congressman User. They edited her answer to make her look better. It was still a word salad, by the way.
Yeah, it's almost like they're part of the campaign, and they're editing, of course, to put her in the best light possible. And if that was a President Trump interview, they'd be putting him in the worst light possible. Yeah. And that's why we call it fake news. We call it edited news. But keep in mind this. In that debate, right, it was a tag team. Muir lied about crime. We now have the data. Lindsay lied about abortions to the 9th month for states, and Kamala completely lied about military in areas of combat. We saw that. So none of that comes out. Fortunately, we now have a whistleblower, and I'm going to tell you something, Maria. We're gonna do what we can to bring ABC in and have them answer some questions. And as well as have this whistleblower and see what's going on as they're trying to tear down the First Amendment.
I'm glad you mentioned this because Fox News is reaching out to ABC for response to that affidavit and this Bill Ackman post about this whistleblower. We want answers, but Bill Ackman posted this on X about an alleged ABC whistleblower affidavit that says Harris's campaign dictated the debate questions, camera angles, and the fact-checking of Trump at the debate. He writes, quote, "Sadly for the state of truth in media, I expect the whistleblower allegations will be deemed to be true." Ackman also pointed out that ABC News' David Muir and Lindsay Davis have yet to make any statements on the alleged affidavit. He said, quote, "If you are not guilty as alleged, you have no choice but to immediately issue a statement denying the claims, for silence is an admission of complicity."
Yep.
ABC News has already denied allegations of collusion between the presidential debate moderators and the Harris campaign. We know Lindsay Davis is her sorority sister, but they told the Daily Beast last week, absolutely not. Harris was not given any questions before the debate. We've reached out to ABC to verify the affidavit and for a statement on these accusations, Congressman. But this affidavit and this whistleblower story is gaining traction.
Yes, absolutely, and as it should. We need to find out what the truth is. And the thing is this, we all saw it. We actually don't need a hearing to know what we saw, but we're going to look to do it so as we can provide some evidence as to how manipulative they are. You know, Marie, in Pennsylvania, the Kamala Harris team is spending $33 million on radio ads. I am telling you, 95% of the ad is a complete farce. They edit out the president's sentences to use the words bloodbath and dictator for a day and other things to make them out to be virtually opposite of what he was saying. That's their campaign, full of lies, full of farce, one big con, or an attempt to con the American people anyway.
That's what's happening, friends. The big con. So hopefully at some point this whistleblower will step forward and we'll get the full audio recordings. Bill Ackman, you heard her mention, why has David Muir not responded to the accusations leveled by the whistleblower? One has to draw a negative inference. And here's David Muir right before the debate starting, telling the world that no questions or topics have been discussed with either campaign.
And that brings us to the rules of tonight's debate. 90 minutes with 2 commercial breaks. No topics or questions have been shared with the campaigns.
Topics or questions, is that right? If the affidavit was indeed dated a day before the debate, it serves as near incontrovertible proof of manipulation. It should have raised red flags for any observant viewer. ABC and Robert Iger should directly address the specific accusations of the whistleblower. And Iger Disney should launch a full investigation. Not surprisingly, there's been no denial from the two ABC moderators, just silence. David Muir did not comment on Trump surviving an assassination attempt because he's seething that they missed. Ratings for David Muir's World News Tonight tanked following his disastrous debate moderating.
That Americans care about, the economy. Are we better off than we were 4 years ago? Immigration. What are you going to do about the border? Why did you wait so long before you acted on the border? Those types of questions. Reproductive rights. Afghanistan. Do you bear any responsibility?
This is the state of the media today, friends. And that's why Next News Network is so important. So we can break it down, bring you the real news. Not this manipulated reality that they keep spoon feeding us all across every cable channel. So America, what we've just revealed about ABC News and this debate scandal is nothing short of earth-shattering. It's not just about one network or a debate. It's about the very foundations of our republic. How can we make informed decisions if we can't trust the information we're given? This whistleblower has opened up Pandora's box, and you can bet we are going to keep digging until we expose every single last detail. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. What's up, chat? You tell me. Kate, Muir has lost over 1 million viewers. Chris is here. Finally made it to a live report. Appreciate you guys. What's up, Chris? Yes, Katie. Very good point. David Muir didn't say sample questions. We didn't give him questions. Let's see. What else? Do you guys have any reactions? Any more reactions on this? Stalin would be proud of ABC. Wow. Let's see what else you guys are saying here. News went south when it became opinion. Democrats and the media have certainly taken the Peter Principle to its highest pinnacle. Kenny's asking about the nuke test of Russia. Yes, I was watching that, and still trying to figure out exactly what it is. Some are saying it was a cruise missile that went into an ammunition depot. Cruise missile supplied by the United States or NATO by Ukraine going into that Russian depot. Only going to create more escalation and, of course, a response from Putin. Hopefully, we don't get to the point where World War III actually occurs. You can go to my X feed and you can check out some of the posts we've made regarding that. Okay, let's get to our next story. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to take you to the heart of the political storm. Donald Trump just held a rally in Michigan, sending shockwaves through the entire political establishment. The energy, the crowds, the message, it's all part of a resurgence that has Washington insiders running scared. But here's what the mainstream media won't tell you. This wasn't just a rally, it was a glimpse into the future of American politics. So buckle up, folks. This is big. Now, let's talk about pain for just a moment. We've all dealt with it. What if I told you there's a revolutionary way to combat it? Enter Collusion. It's the natural pain reliever that's changing lives, powered by medical scientist Clint Winters. This 100% drug-free solution is taking the world by storm. It's so powerful, even UFC fighters swear by it. It optimizes your body's natural painkillers, working like you are in your prime again. Now, I was skeptical, but it works, and my aches have faded away. No grogginess, just relief. So watch Clint's informative report at trycono.com/NNN. And for less than $1 a day, you can access the only product worldwide. Don't miss the chance to beat pain forever. Visit trykano.com/NNN now. Okay, so big rally, President Trump in Flint, Michigan, and man, it was wild.
Hundreds and hundreds of Trump supporters are lined up here in Flint, Michigan, awaiting to see in person the former president for the first time since that second attempt on his life. And I've been talking to some of these folks, and they tell me that they want to hear in detail what happened on Sunday on that golf course, and they want to hear from the Secret Service about what the agency is doing differently to protect the president for the next 50 days through the election. And they want to hear about the economy, which is the #1 issue here. Now, tonight's town hall, which is hosted by Governor from Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, is supposed to be focused on manufacturing and the auto industry here. Michigan is a key battleground state for both of these campaigns, and it could go really either way. It is neck and neck here. Vice President Kamala Harris is expected to take a swing through this state this week, and Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, is here today.
So it was amazing. U.S. President Trump compares presidency to bull riding in Michigan speech following the reported assassination attempt at the golf club. Team Trump posting some pictures. Look at these pictures from the rally. Look at these pictures. Stunning number of people. President Trump out there with the people. And it was a town hall. And there's some great questions. I'm gonna play some of them for you. Here's a guy who drove 5 hours to be first in line to attend Trump's town hall. That's love that Kamala will never get.
People.
This is from RSBN.
Amazing. And what time did you get here to get that spot?
I got here 10:30 a.m. yesterday, Monday.
Yesterday. Not 10:30 a.m. today. Yesterday.
Yes.
And was it fun? Were you like camping out, talking to people? Tell us about it.
Camping out, talking to people, helping them, showing them, talking to them about voting for Trump, and registering them to vote, everything, you know.
This is truly a grassroots movement. And is there anything you want to hear specifically from President Trump tonight?
I want him to talk about the economy. I want him to talk about closing the border. I want him to talk about drilling oil. I want him to talk about defeating the Democrats and getting back in office.
That's right. That's amazing. And
amen. Look at this crowd. Packed house in Flint, Michigan. Look at this. Look at that crowd. Wow. Here's more. Long lines for Trump's town hall in Flint, Michigan. Notice how there are 30 coach buses bringing in paid crowds from out of state like the Joy Ladies events. Look at all these people. Look at them all. One of the loudest, Daniel Baldwin says this is one of the loudest ovations he's ever heard as Flint, Michigan welcomes President Trump. He said it was deafening. Just days after second attempted assassination attempt on Trump, he's having a town hall in Michigan with Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. That's a lot of people for a town hall. Nobody's ever seen a town hall like this. You know, a town hall is supposed to have about 300 people. You have about 8,000 people here. And equally as important, you have about 8,000 people that are not here. They're walking away. But I think we have television outside, right? So they're watching from outside. Would anybody like to change places with them?
No, thank you, sir. Donald Trump speaking about Elon Musk.
Maybe, in fact. Right now, he's got other things to think. He's got to get a rocket up to get those two people out of there. They said, Elon, let's get going. No, they're relying on Elon to get the two people. Who would like to be up there right now saying we're coming back home maybe in February? So that was not so good. But Elon will solve the problem. He's great, great guy. And he loves this state, and he loves your whole, everything you're doing here. And he's done a fantastic job. He really has. And
let's get to some of those questions. Let's see here. Okay, Sarah Huckabee Sanders stirs the crowd at the Trump rally. Divine plans and political fire.
Tried to impeach this president. The left has tried everything they can think of. They've tried to impeach this president. They've tried to throw him in jail. And not once, but twice, 2 would-be assassins have tried to take this president down. But we're here to let them in on a little secret. God is not done with President Trump.
Amen. Amen. Let's get to some of those questions now, because there were some really good ones. Michigan voters erupt in cheers after Trump tells them he will put a 200% tariff on cars made in Mexico.
For 50 years, we are going to bring so many auto plants into our country. You're going to be as big or bigger than you were 50 years ago, because they won't be able, if they're not willing to build a plant, we don't want their product. And that's enough. That's all I want to say. They're going to make their cars there, and they're going to sell them across our line, and we're going to take them, and we're not going to charge them tax. We're going to charge them, I'm telling you right now, I'm putting a 200% tariff on, which means they're unsellable. Unsellable in the United States. And then you wonder why it gets shot at, right? You know, only consequential presidents get shot at. When I say something like that, you have countries saying, this guy, but what can you do? You have to do what you have to do, right? We have to be brave. Otherwise, we're not going to have a country left. So we are going to bring.
Here's more. So many clips. Let's get to those questions. This was a great one.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President, for having us here tonight. I just want to let you know that I've attended one of your rallies. I did not leave early, and I did not fall asleep. Just want to let you know that, sir. I did not do it. I did not do it. I didn't see anybody else doing it either, sir. My name is Isaiah. I'm a third-generation UAW worker.
Of course, he's referring to the allegations made by Kamala Harris during that rigged debate. Here's a Michigan mother asking Trump how he plans to decrease the cost of food.
Of 3. Good evening, President Trump. Thank you for taking our question.
Thank you.
My name is Barbara. I'm a mom of 3, a grandmother of 7, and 3 great-grands, a registered nurse, retired nurse. So I know the cost that goes into raising children and running a household.
Yeah.
People just can't survive now. How are you going to bring down the cost of food and groceries?
Good. Very good. Thank you. So we have to start always with energy. Always. I don't want to be boring about it, but there's no bigger subject. It covers everything. If you make donuts, if you make cars, whatever you make, energy is a big deal, and we're going to get that. It's my ambition to get your energy bill within 12 months down 50%. If I can do that, we've done a hell of a job. 5-0, not 15, 50. Interest rates are going to follow, and actually they're going to follow for another reason. The economy is now not good. And interest rates, you'll see they'll do the rate cut and all the political stuff tomorrow, I think. And, will he do a half a point? Will he do a quarter of a point? But the reason is because the economy is not good. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it. But we're going to get interest rates down, and we got to work with our farmers. Our farmers are being decimated right now. They're being absolutely decimated. And, one of the reasons is we allow a lot of farm product into our country, and we're going to have to be a little bit like other countries. We're not going to allow so much we're going to let our farmers go to work. And I don't know if you remember, I love the farmers because, I had many meetings as president. I have this gorgeous room with this beautiful table that seats about 35 people. And I was with the farmers. Usually everybody wants something. They all want subsidy. But I was with the farmers, and I think you might have been there, actually, Sarah. I said, look, fellas, we're going to get you such a beautiful subsidy, meaning I'm going to do things. And one of the people raises in, sir, honestly, we don't want a subsidy. This is the first time this ever happened to me. Everyone they want money. They want to build windmills. We want money with these windmills. Anyway. But you know what? It was amazing. He said, almost tears in his eyes, they were getting decimated. We don't want a subsidy. We just want to play, a fair, level playing field. And I said, nobody's ever said that. And I have many industries and many groups of people from different things. They do all different things. It's probably the most dramatic I've ever seen. He didn't want anything. All he wanted was to be able to compete fairly. Interest rates, energy, and common sense. A lot of it's common sense. Everything. I like to say, we're the party of common sense.
Good evening, President Trump.
Amen to that. We've got some more commentary from Trump here.
They said it has a slight problem, but you want to have gasoline-propelled cars, you want to have hybrids, you want to have all sorts. They say a new one is going to be hydrogen, who the hell knows? They said it has a slight problem, it blows up. And if you're in the car, that could be a little problem. But you want to be able to have whatever it is, whatever the market is and all.
Yeah, not controlled by top-down government officials. So, an amazing event in Michigan. President Trump rallying the base. Tens of thousands of people show up to see him. Nobody getting bussed in like Kamala. And, of course, there were no bomb threats at this one. Thank God. So what we've witnessed in Michigan is not a rally, it's a revolution. Trump didn't speak to a crowd, he ignited a movement. The enthusiasm, the determination, the sheer force of will, it's unlike anything that we have seen in modern politics. But here's the kicker, the mainstream media is desperately trying to downplay it. They're terrified of what it means. So stay tuned, because this is just the beginning of a political earthquake. Okay, let's jump into the comments, see what you guys are saying here. I'm on the tube now, says Rock On, but I'm usually on Rumble. What's up? This chat is, whoa. This is the first year I've ever voted, and I'm voting for Trump and all three of my kids in their 20s with me, says Biggie Smalls. AJ Ward, Trump is the best president in the history of the United States. Ada says, even if the Feds lowered the interest rates, we're still voting for Trump. They're scared to death. That's it. Bye-bye, Kamala. You're fired. And we're learning now that they did, in fact, lower the interest rates half a point today. JJ says, Puerto Rico loves you, President Trump. And we got a super rant. What do you know? What's up, super rant? Let's see where it is. Super chat. Super rant. MT promises. There is our super rant. Thank you. We need those super rants, folks. Keep them coming. Head on over to Rumble if you want to support the program. Trump 2024, let's go. MT promises. Thank you for that. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. What, Brian? Yeah, Brian. Yes, thank you for that. Exile Jedi, I'm listening to your live chat and I'm watching more reports on Newsmax about Trump and how the media is still lying at Next News Network. Doesn't surprise me. That's what the mainstream media does best, gaslight and lie to the American people, and that's why the Next News Network exists, to fix the record. Let's see here. Kathy says, Michigan loves Donald Trump. Michigan is MAGA country. It's a town hall turning into a rally. That's certainly what it was, right? Someone's asking about captions. Robert, closed captions, I do not believe they are available in real time on live, but when you watch this later, you should be able to see the captions if you activate them on the video screen. There's a setting in YouTube that allows you to do that. Okay, let's get to our fifth topic, fifth segment. Okay. Brace yourselves, America. We're about to dive into polling numbers that are sending shockwaves through both political parties. The 2024 election landscape is shifting beneath our feet, and what we're seeing is nothing short of seismic. Trump surging, Harris stumbling, and wild cards that could change everything. But here's the kicker. The mainstream media is twisting these numbers to fit their narrative. And we're going to give you the raw, unfiltered truth. So buckle up, folks. This is a game changer. Now let's talk about turning back the clock on aging. Countless Americans waste time and money trying to reduce wrinkles, missing the real culprit: depleted collagen. After 20, your body produces 12% less collagen each decade, and that's why I take this magic secret powder to revitalize my skin. Unlike store-bought supplements, it combines the top 5 critical collagen types for skin health. It reduces visible aging signs, promotes elasticity, and hydrates the skin. Get it now at 51% off at healthwithgary.com. Order today for free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life, a free ebook, 14 Foods for Amazing Skin, a 60-day satisfaction guarantee, and free shipping. Don't wait. Visit healthwithgary.com or click the link below for younger-looking skin. All right. CNN is now preparing their viewers for a Harris loss on November 5th. Even this biased mainstream media poll are showing a dead heat, and Trump outperforms the polls significantly. Listen.
Since the Electoral College, Berman, from my undisclosed location, you'll never guess where I am. So take a look here. National polls in the last month, including leads within the margin of error. Look, Kamala Harris leads in pretty much every single national poll. She's led in 9 of the polls that have been released over the last month. Trump has just led in 1 national poll over the last month, and we've had 1 tie. So the fact that a national poll shows Kamala Harris ahead, not really much of a surprise because, John, pretty much all of them do.
And the thing is, Harry, thanks to the founding fathers, this isn't a national election exactly, is it? Oh, now you're suddenly behind me. You keep on moving. There's Harry, still in an undisclosed location, but at least virtually behind me, making me very nervous. All right, Harry, talk to us about what the states look like, the battleground states.
Yeah, so look, this is about the Electoral College, right? So let's take a look at the average margin. Nationally, Harris is ahead in the average poll by 2.5 points. But look in those 7 key battleground states: Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Harris is only ahead by 0.3 points, John. So the bottom line is, in those 7 key battleground states, it's a significantly tighter race than it is nationally, John.
So Al Gore and Hillary Clinton are calling right now, Harry, asking what the chances are that Harris could win the popular vote but lose in the Electoral College.
Okay. So basically, you note that 2.5-point lead nationally here, right? Okay. Harris's chances, if she wins the popular vote by 2 to 3 points, the chance she wins the Electoral College is only 53%. The bottom line is, once you have to get all the way north to about 3 to 4 points for Harris to have a clear chance, clear majority chance of winning the Electoral College. If she only wins by less than 2, look at that. only a 23% chance of winning. Right now, Harris is right now in that danger zone where basically about half the time, given that popular vote margin nationally, she would win. And
so there you have CNN, but we got some interesting poll numbers. Polymarket just in, Donald Trump now leads Kamala Harris in Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Arizona. Breaking. Trafalgar, Insider, Advantage have released polls for Georgia and Pennsylvania. Trump is at 50 to Harris 48. Georgia, Trump 46 to Harris at 44. Trump is up. If Trump wins Georgia and PA, he will be the 47th president of the United States. Trafalgar Group, Insider Advantage, recent polling, Trump is up in all of those polls, despite what you just saw on CNN. Now, political polls, they say the general election nationally, Harris is up 4% at 52 and Trump at 48%. And here's something interesting. This was 17 hours ago. Linda Bissonnette says Fox is now one of them wolves trying to take out Trump Vance with fake polls. Does anyone truly believe that Kamala Harris is leading Donald Trump in Pennsylvania? I live in Pennsylvania. There are Trump Vance signs, at least 80% of the properties, and that's a low estimate considering I've never seen Kamala Harris sign in my travels. Josh Dunlap. This is interesting. CNN says Kamala Harris is the worst polling Democrat against Donald Trump in history on national polls.
Performing worst polling Democrat against Donald Trump in history on national polls. No one is performing worse among blacks, among Hispanics, the worst performing Democrat in modern history among those demographics, worst performing polling wise among Jews. She is losing key factions of the Democratic base. Muslim voters, she's at under 50, she's at 52% in the latest CARE poll among black Muslims. She is not doing well.
Not doing well. Leading report. New Electoral College results via Real Clear Politics show Trump flipping Pennsylvania and beating Harris after new polls. Trump predicted 281 Electoral College votes to Harris Wall's 257. Look at that map. Look at that map. Look at that sea of red. Speaking of red, here's a former Democrat explaining her decision to become a Republican and pledging her support to Donald Trump.
I think also there's a number of issues, but overall, the party left me, I don't know what it is anymore. If this is the new way forward for Democrats, good luck. Many of us will be leaving. It's just gone complete woke. It has abandoned key allies, such as Israel, for example. I think also as well, its economic plan. A lawn is not a plan. And it doesn't matter if you grew up middle class or working class. It's not a plan overall. But I think to me, the Democratic Party has just lurched to the extreme left. It's been captured by, many call it the Hamas caucus of the Democratic Party. You'd be surprised. There have been a number of Democrats who have reached out to me saying, psst, I'm going to leave too. How did you do it? Or I've already left. So it's actually been very, very interesting. And I intend to try to recruit all of them over to say, let's become part of the new Republican Party under this blue collar billionaire businessman that we want to see protect and lead our families and our country.
Amen. There you go. Another one walking away. Head Rasmussen pollster Mark Mitchell reveals surging Trump polling. Trump +2 is bigger than he's ever done in all of our polling at this point in the election cycle. Let's hear what he has to say.
Oh, correction. I'm so sorry, Mark. We can't hear your audio. Yeah.
In the debate, we're the only. The problem is they're only talking to Democrats. They're going to try and use that debate to say that she won. And that's, of course, what they're using. The problem is they're only talking to Democrats now. And Kamala Harris is losing independents by 12 points as of our last poll. She needed to win independents over. And you cannot win independents with the content of what she put out in the debate. We're the only people putting out daily data. And there were, of course, some snap polls. But we all know the game has changed. We all know it comes down to viral stuff on TikTok or whatever. And now we have 4 nightly data points out. And the answer is, like, I don't know. It kind of looks the same. I will say the data has been a little bit more volatile over the last couple of days, but everybody looking at these daily data points knows that there's a plus or minus 5% margin of error on the individual ones. Now, the dotted line here is the 5-period moving average. That's much more like a real poll with a 2-point margin of error. And, you know, we had Trump tied, Trump +6, Trump -6, Trump +6. But you know what? The average still looks like a Trump +2 race with maybe that one outlier in there. And that's exactly where we thought it was going to be and where it's stabilized at. 2 weeks ago, we had Trump +1. The New York Times agreed with us. Doesn't look like anything's really moving the race. Not a Taylor Swift tweet, not Trump getting shot at. I think it's all baked in. And so, again, you could say, oh, we want to see a bigger lead for Trump. Trump +2 is bigger than he's ever done ever in all of our polling at this point in the election cycle. And it's like literally 2 assassination attempts, your best debate, and the DNC can't get you above Trump. The Kamala Harris campaign must be sweating and acting, like begging for an act of God right now. Because in my opinion, that's all that's going to move these numbers. And so, like, maybe the next couple nights is more positive for Harris. Who knows? Because maybe there's a delayed reaction for the debate. I don't know. But Trump's going to keep doing Trump campaigning, which we've all seen. She's going to keep doing inauthentic stuff that's not primed towards addressing independence. And there you have it. That's the race.
There you have it. What else have we got for you here? There's that map again, Electoral College model, Trump 312, Harris. This is a different one, actually. This is even more, 312 to 226. This is enormous. Look at that map. And both Harris and Trump voters say they're voting for their candidate, not against the other. That's according to Scott Rasmussen. So, big news here. Trump up in battleground states. Mainstream media is still pushing this Kamala Harris surge over Trump. Everyone is questioning it, but other polls contradict. So why are these mainstream media outlets not presenting these poll numbers? It blows my mind. But we are presenting them to you here so you can get the truth, even Fox News. So, big numbers here. Donald Trump, according to Nate Silver even, Trump winning 312 electoral votes. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we have revealed about the 2024 election polls, not just numbers, it's a glimpse into America's future, the shifts, the trends. They're telling a story that the political establishment does not want you to hear. It's not just about who's up or down. It's about the fundamental realignment in American politics. You saw that Democrat coming forward, jumping ship, going onto the Republican side. That's happening all across this country. So stay vigilant, my friends, stay informed, and most importantly, stay tuned, because in this election, every poll, every number, every shift could be the one that changes everything. All right, let's get your reactions in chat. What's up, chat? You tell me. You tell me. Watster, I've been following Next News on Rumble because Arizona loves Trump. What's up? Yes, follow us on Rumble if you're not yet. Please do. Get over there. Topher says South Carolina for Trump. E. Honda. We all have to vote. E. Honda. Is that from Street Fighter? Anthony says it's time to turn to Jesus, America. Amen. Mark says they're trying to sell a bill of goods, and every time Harris opens her big fat mouth, she sinks deeper. Sure You says never listen to the polls. Okay. Wicked people do not prosper. Kamala is not winning anywhere, says Diana. Okay, let's get into some of the latest breaking news that's happening on X right now from people that we are following. Okay, let's go. Chuck Schumer posting 52 seconds ago. Mary Kay Costello has been confirmed to be a U.S. District Judge for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. Okay. That's not creepy at all. Trump is so popular with the rank and file that leadership has no other choice. Teamsters will not endorse for president in a blow to Democrats. That's huge. This means Trump is supported by union workers. This is just coming out an hour ago. I'm not sure what this is about. Holding donuts. Another reason to love Nicole Shanahan. Marjorie Taylor Greene Press. Local media reporting over 50,000 people at Trump's rally. The mainstream media will never show you this. 50,000 people. New York is in play. Ha ha, let's go. Oh, here's one. In 2021, President Biden tasked Kamala Harris with leading the effort to expand broadband access to rural America. 1,038 days later, not a single person has been connected. Using the $42.45 billion allocated, Starlink could have achieved this at a fraction of the cost. Yeah, they could have. But that's government waste for you. Dutch government, dominated by the far-right party of Geert Wilders, officially asked the EU for exemption from its migration obligations on Wednesday. Wall Street ticked slightly higher early Wednesday as markets waited an expected interest rate cut by the U.S. Federal Reserve, first in more than 4 years. General Motors offering adapters to help its electric vehicle owners access Tesla chargers. Oh, here's this. Listen to this. Tucker posted this about 2 hours ago. This video clip is going viral now. This is open. He says this is openly totalitarian. Listen to what Kamala Harris said.
You heard from the responsible behaviors among everybody in the community, and just because you legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible and safe in the way you conduct your affairs. Have you heard?
What about the Fourth Amendment? You can't just walk into someone's home. Kamala clearly does not understand. The Constitution. This was when she was an attorney general. 3 minutes ago, Jack Posobiec, independence breaking for 45 seals the deal. Independents moving heavily to Trump. Teamsters not endorsing in a presidential race after internal polling showing most members support Trump. Chinese aircraft carrier getting closer to Japan. Larkin Riley, sad story. Could have been prevented. Let's see what we have here. Another poll. Mike Pence. The 2024 Republican platform ignores the national debt, moves away from commitments to life, embraces foreign policy, moves away from leading on the world stage. Now it's time to hold on to conservative principles. And he's talking to Dr. Phil. Yeah. Mike Pence was clearly the insurance policy for that administration. And we saw that all unfold on January 6th. Richard Barris, the People's Pundit, they did it again. Look at the unweighted versus weighted result. Vote preference isn't really changing all that much among age and racial groups. The party weights are changing, and you could tell by how impacts Harris is not going to win. 50 to 100K annual income people. Wow. 25 years. Teamster. We fully support Trump. We all talk about him. Teamsters, electronic member poll. Look at those numbers. 34% Harris, 59% Trump. Nevada Smith. Wow. I know Nevada Smith, but that's not the same one. When you're the Democrat candidate for president and Teamsters don't endorse you, you're having a pretty bad day. Wow, that's such bad news. Let's see. Corey Lewandowski. This is just posted 10 minutes ago. Look at that huge crowd in Uniondale, New York, turning out for President Trump. Let's hear what Corey
These
says.
guys, look, the unions by and large have been just an extension of the Democratic Party, but the rank and file are with Donald Trump, and you see the
So
police
those are the
officers.
votes. I mean,
Of
it doesn't
course
really
it is.
matter what the leadership says at this
We don't care what the leadership says. Okay, it's about the rank and file. The
Yeah.
police officers, firefighters, you know, the Teamsters, the electricians, the plumbers, the carpenters, all of these guys, all of these women who have to get up and work every single day are with Donald Trump because they want to be able to keep more of their own money.
Yep. Bad news for Kamala Harris. Donald Trump's favorability has risen. Kamala Harris has sunk. Wow. Trump's going on Gutfeld tonight? Well, that should be interesting. That should be really interesting. That'll be a good show. Okay, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just taken you on a whirlwind tour of the stories that are shaping our nation's future. So let's recap what we've uncovered, because believe me, it is a lot to process. We started with Tucker Carlson's explosive live tour stop in Milwaukee with RFK Jr. and Larry Elder by his side. Tucker delivered a no-holds-barred takedown of the lies and deception plaguing our nation. It wasn't just a show. It was a rallying cry for truth. Then we dove into the shocking second assassination attempt on Donald Trump. The implications are staggering, and the media's silence is deafening. It's not just about Trump, it's about the integrity of our entire political system. We blew the lid off the ABC News whistleblower scandal, exposing collusion, bias, and manipulation in the recent Trump-Harris debate. It's a reminder of why we cannot trust the mainstream media anymore. And then we took you inside Trump's electrifying rally in Michigan, where we witnessed a political resurgence that has Washington insiders running scared. The energy, the crowds, it's a phenomenon that cannot be ignored. And finally, we broke down the latest 2024 election polls that are sending shockwaves through both parties. The landscape is shifting, and what we're seeing could change everything. Now, I do need to level with you. Bringing you this kind of hard-hitting truth is not easy or cheap or under constant attack from those who want to keep you in the dark, and that's why we urgently need your support. Your donations keep us on the air, keep us digging for the truth, and keep the powers that be from silencing us. Remember, when you support us, you are not just keeping a show alive, you are keeping the flame of truth burning in a world of darkness. So please, if you value what we do, if you believe in our mission, consider making a donation, and together we can keep fighting for the truth that America deserves. Thank you for watching. We will see you at the next Raw feed. This is Gary Franchi signing off.
we get our